I had seen the online comments too. After so many years of loyalty, she turned out to be a wolf in sheep's clothing. Mrs. White must be so disappointed in her. Poor Gloria still had to deal with this assistant even in love. Suddenly, someone snatched my phone from my hands. I looked up. It was William, staring at my pale face. "Stop reading," he said. "Grandma's calling us for dinner." I tried to explain myself, but he just said, "I know." He believed me. Truly, but the world didn't. Just like the internet, even companies that once wanted to hire me now pulled back. Felt like I'd been marked forever, that no one would ever accept me again. Maybe that's the ending Louis wanted for me, a life soaked in despair. No way out. Only one company offered me a job, the Booths. I had submitted my resume to every possible firm, including theirs. But when they offered, I turned it down. William glanced at my resume. "Why?" he asked. I shook my head. "My name will only bring trouble. Even a prestigious company like the Booths doesn't deserve that." He turned away, then looked back at me quietly. With a helpless little smile, he said, "Hannah, you really are slow to react." Slow to react? I blinked, caught off guard. But before I could respond, the police arrived. They said I was a person of interest in the Whites' accident, and I was taken away to be interrogated. As I was let in, I saw Louis and Gloria, their expressions intriguing. Gloria's face carried the look of a gambler, someone who had made all the right moves, erased all evidence, and now had one obstacle left: me. If I went to jail, she could finally be at peace. That extravagant proposal, it was real, and the wedding, it was happening. She'd be the envied Mrs. White. Louis looked at me, his jaw clenched tight, his hands trembling as they fidgeted with his fingertips. He met my eyes for a second, then looked away. The corners of his eyes were red. I turned and walked into the interrogation room. The next few hours felt endless. The police dug into every detail of my life, left nothing untouched. Besides that one photo, more evidence appeared, a net of assumptions carefully woven to trap me. I was placed in custody. 10 days. Not very long. But enough online, the White's car accident case had exploded. Speculations and theories ran wild. The authorities had no choice. They had to be thorough. But during those 10 days, I didn't think much. I slept. Deep, uninterrupted sleep. My first real rest in years, wrapped in darkness. On the 10th day, the truth finally surfaced. I was innocent, acquitted. And then, a new name appeared on the fugitive list. Gloria. The fallout was swift. All those employers who had rejected me started reaching out again. But I declined them all, even the Booths. I had no intention of returning to that world. That's when I got the call from back home. My former teacher, a respected figure in our town, someone just like Mrs. White, asked me if I'd return to teach, to help rebuild the future. I agreed. Before I left, I paid one last visit to the Whites, and this time, no one stood in my way. I had left everything behind at the Whites, thinking my room would be dusty, abandoned. But to my surprise, when I opened the door, everything was spotless, bright sunlight spilling across the floor, falling softly on a freshly folded flower placed neatly on the table. As I quickly packed my things, I hesitated at one drawer. Eventually, I pulled it open and reached for an old photograph hidden in a secret compartment. It was a picture of Louis, taken when we were 17. He was carefree then, the wind tousling his hair, walking a few steps ahead with friends, turning back playfully as if checking if someone was following. I had taken that picture in secret.
Oh.
In the end, I chose not to take it with me.
I left
it on the table. Whether Louis would keep it or throw it away, that was his choice now. Outside, the purple wisteria tree had bloomed again. Its delicate flowers draped gently down like whispers from the past. I stood there, silently admiring it. Then I heard him behind me, his voice low. Gloria. He spoke like someone afraid to disturb a dream. I turned, smiled at him, calmly. Louis, with dark circles under his eyes, a faint beard on his chin, looked nothing like the arrogant heir I once knew. His voice was rough. His eyes flickered as he said, "Since I recovered. I've been digging nonstop into the car accident. When the clues pointed to you..." He paused. It crushed me. Just seeing the evidence made it hard to breathe. I never thought you could betray us. But once that idea got into my head, I couldn't shake it. Let out a bitter laugh. You get it, right? People like us, we're used to betrayal. Used to being stabbed in the back. But if it's from you, I couldn't take it. He looked at me with pained eyes. You know what I thought while reading those reports? I wished I'd died in that car crash. Everything afterward, the grand proposal, all of it, it was just to prove something. To punish you. To punish myself. He kept talking about guilt, about regret, about the person he used to be, but I gently stopped him. No, Louis froze, his eyes wide. I smiled faintly. Louis, when you did it, you already knew you were wrong. But you believed it didn't matter, because no matter what you did, I'd always forgive you. You thought even if my betrayal was real, or just a misunderstanding, I'd forgive you. Yes! But I always knew if it weren't for your accident, if people hadn't lined up to please you, you wouldn't have looked at me twice. You always liked girls like Gloria. Even the ring you gave me was the wrong size. Louis said nothing. For a long time. Then, I realized those weren't shadows on the ground. They were his tears. He reached out suddenly, gripping my wrist. I'm a bastard, he whispered. Can you forgive me? Just this once? The purple wisteria above us swayed gently, throwing light like shattered memories. I remembered us at 17, Louis leaning against a railing, casually asking, Gloria, do you like me? Back then, I had said yes. But now I looked at him, thought for a moment, and slowly pulled my hand away. I won't forgive you. His eyes dropped and saw the scar on my wrist. His pupils shrank. His lips trembled. But he said nothing. I spoke softly, as if explaining something to a child. Louis, Mrs. White saved your life in that accident. You have to live well. White's group, it was her life's work. You need to protect it. I'm leaving. Louis turned pale. The blood drained from his face. It was like something inside him had collapsed, as if the person he always took for granted was really walking away. Forever, the midsummer wind blew, never looked back. Lately, the wind in London had changed. The once legendary couple from that so-called proposal of the century. One was now labeled a villain, the other a disgrace. Gloria had fallen, and Louis, aiding her, he crashed again. This time literally. The White stock had plummeted. And Louis had shattered his legs, now bound to a wheelchair. On the bus ride home, I received a message from him. I'll repay everything I owe you. I blocked him, without hesitation. Outside the window, the view passed by, slowly, rhythmically. It's like the day I had first arrived. In the reflection on the glass, I saw the person beside me. William, head tilted, eyes closed, asleep or maybe just resting. But next to him, I finally felt peace. He, a CEO, insisted on personally delivering high school supplies and insisted on tagging along. I couldn't stop him, so I let him come with me. The bus rocked gently. William's head rested on my shoulder, still fast asleep. I smiled, lips pressing together slightly. I looked forward, watching the scenery shift with each passing moment, but in my heart I knew I was about to step into countless midsummers ahead.